All right, my friends, welcome to episode 190 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry. I am at Prof Plays Games on Twitter, and over there is Anthony the Dev at SummerSpeak on Twitter. How's it going, man?
Fighting a cold.
Oh shit, me too.
I haven't got it completely yet, that the rest of my family is down and out.
Ugh.
And I knew it's coming. And as this day has gone on, I've just progressively been more tired and more just like worn down. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to wake up and just be wrecked. But yeah, that's a fun end to the weekend.
Yeah, I just, my daughter got sick last week at daycare, I think, and then we've just slowly gotten it. It's just like,
It's my daughter. And it's just spread to everybody.
Yep. Exactly. Just over and over and over again.
Freaking kids. Plague bearers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this episode we're talking about Microsoft, our hopes for Microsoft for 2019, kind of trying to finish our trilogy of Sony, then Nintendo, then Microsoft before E3. Then we'll talk about some of the games we've been playing, and then we'll move into Game of Thrones Episode 8, Season 4. We'll give you a nice spoiler warning so you can click off if you have not watched the episode yet.
I think you meant Season 8, Episode 4.
What did I say?
Season 4, Episode 8.
Well, shit, yeah. Reverse those. We can talk about both. Why not?
I don't even remember what episode Season 4. I'm sure.
Yeah. It
was back when it's good. Burn.
Game of Thrones episode
Season 4 episode 8.
Thank you. My cold is really fucking with me. Season 4 episode 8. Daenerys on the brink. Oh no, that's this one. Sorry. Oh shit. Season 4 episode 8. The Mountain and the Viper.
Oh, that's cool. All right, someone did die.
Yeah, that was such a great episode. Oh my god. And one of those people is still alive. Sort of. Before we get into everything, though, I want to give away a code for Steam. It's for a game called Super Daryl Deluxe. It is FFI, I think that's an I, VVMCBZW 29WKT. That is Super Daryl Deluxe, FFI VVMCBZW 29WKT. If you redeem it, let us know on Twitter at SummerSpeak, at Prof Plays Games. Enjoy the game. So, Microsoft, how much do you care?
I mean, what is my hopes for Microsoft in 2019? Make me care.
There we go.
That is at the base. The base of all my hopes is make me care. Make people care.
Exactly. I am 100% in agreement with you. And what would make you care?
Honestly, one of the first things that I've been thinking about is if they really start talking hard about the next gen earlier and putting more pressure on Sony.
Mm-hmm.
And really just being like, hey, yep, Sony announced this stuff. Here's ours. It's better. That does mean something. And then from a developer standpoint, this is the hard part. Don't rush it. Because Xbox One was rushed and it was annoying as hell. And it was not great for development.
And what made it so hard?
They were just making lots of last minute changes to the APIs.
Oh, that's annoying. So you think you have something ready to go and you don't?
No, and everyone has to rebuild their entire games.
Oh, man.
Because they changed some pretty hard, store API stuff. Or they try to shoehorn in features that they just didn't have, but they want to compete with Sony, like replays and stuff like that, and streaming. And then they have new guidelines of being like, well, your game has to support stuff in this way at this time. And you're like, wow, we didn't plan for that because you didn't tell us we needed to. So now we do, to be ready for launch. It came in very hot all around, which caused a lot of hell for a lot of developers. Because they were trying to rush to beat Sony.
Right.
Which is not, I don't want them to be, I would like them to roll it out smoother. So announce more hardware stuff, I would say at E3, just really start diving into it. And
don't course correct. Just like, this is our vision, this is what we have, this is what we're
exactly. And as long as that vision doesn't, have Connect requirements and the inability to trade games, things that were not what you should be talking about at all.
Yeah, launch in a way that is pro gamer.
Yeah.
And not, nothing that's easy for Sony to just kind of swoop in and be like, yeah, this is how you trade games on our system, and just pass the disc back and forth.
And I think they're gone. Most of the people that made those decisions aren't even at Microsoft or not involved with the gaming anymore. So what I hope for them is a they come out swinging with a console that is focused on just playing games, not being the just set-top box.
Right. All you can, or everything that you want in one thing.
Focus on the games first. Sure, it can do all these other things. That's great. But focus on the games first. Get people excited about that.
I feel like that's what Switch has done pretty well. And I know it has the portability too, but it just came in and said, you play games on this.
That's the only thing you can do. It had no, you had no YouTube originally even on it. It had no other real media apps. It was like, what do you do with a Switch? You play games. That's all it's capable of doing.
And I know this isn't true for everybody, but I have 12 devices in my house that can play YouTube and whatever else, so I don't really need it on my Switch at all. I think you're right. I think they need to come in and just say, this is our powerful box. You can play games on it. And for me, the thing I need to see are the games. I need to see exclusive games, things that I can't play anywhere else except for the Xbox ecosystem. And it's fine with me if it's on PC and Xbox. That's for me, that's not a big issue. And I think it's smart of them to leverage the PC because that's their other box. I just need to see games. And so far, this gen has had few, unfortunately. But the ones they've had have been kind of,
Yeah, and I mean, they've bought a lot of devs. And clearly they're prepping for the next Xbox, whatever that's going to be. But
I think that's the exciting thing, is that you kind of just have seen them almost lay their cards on the table, say, we have all these devs, they're creating things. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff throughout the next generation. You just have to be patient and wait. Even last E3 was just kind of not a ton on the Microsoft stage, even though just basically announcing all those studios and saying the future is coming, basically. So as long as it comes, I think I'll be happy.
We fucked up. This is us deciding to change. Right. And honestly, they messed up quite a bit earlier. I've said this before, is whenever they closed down most of their first-party studios.
Right.
Over quite a long period of time. I mean, it's Microsoft. They had management changes, leadership changes, and people wanted different things, and they shut down a lot of their internal studios. Which left them really reliant on third party.
Right.
Which can bite you in the ass. And it has. They just can't get out exclusives, their own high quality exclusives, fast enough to compete with. Now look at how quickly Sony puts out exclusives.
Well, it's hard for the third party people, I would think, to say, let's make a deal for Xbox and have half as many people play our games.
Yeah. I mean, you saw some of that early on.
And there was. Early on, exactly.
Early on, I mean, that's why Xbox got Peggle 2, because it was a deal with EA. They gave EA a bunch of money to do exclusives on Xbox One. Titanfall, the original Titanfall was one of those.
Right.
I guess Titanfall may or may not exist without that deal. A lot of games were funded with that deal, or at least really got far along. So
we owe Apex Legends to that deal.
I would think in a little way. It was definitely it took a lot of the risk out of those developments, and but it only works for so long. And again, those were only timed exclusives. So
and you saw a lot of the big partnerships flip over to Sony, like the Call of Duty, Destiny, all those kind of things.
Yep,
they're all on the Sony stage. So I don't know, maybe Microsoft. I know Phil Spencer has said those deals didn't really work out for them, Rise of the Tomb Raider, all those things, and they want to focus on first party, and they, that's where they're going. So we'll see. But I don't expect to see a lot of third party deals in the next generation. And I guess the other thing I'm hoping for is that my Xbox One S can still play the next games if they do the streaming thing.
I hope so. Even streaming or going similar to how Sony is, that's going to be very similar hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Our consoles are at the closest they've ever been to PCs. So,
right.
Backwards compatibility, while not trivial, is easier than switching radically between hardwares.
Right. But I guess I kind of meant forward compatibility, where I could play the Xbox, whatever it's called, on my S through streaming.
Possible.
That's what because I feel like they're moving toward streaming on multiple devices. And if that's true, I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't stream on the S.
That's true. I mean, they could. It would just literally be a box streaming a video. Exactly. It doesn't have to do any of the processing.
Right.
So I mean, that's
internet
possible.
Strong enough. Yeah. It would work. And I think that's something that would help me test the waters for the next Xbox. I'm not jumping in anytime soon. But if I am able to stream the games on my current system and think to myself, well, it might be better to play these excellent games locally, if there are a bunch of excellent games, then it would make sense for me. But it doesn't make sense.
And that's the thing, you talk about jumping in. I would still be willing to jump in if they showed me a game that I could only play there during in launch window that I really cared about. And that's not Halo.
Yeah, right. But even then, you would probably still be able to play on your PC.
That is a good point.
Which still, I mean, that I don't think they care. I don't think they care if you buy an Xbox, as long as you're buying their game and playing it somewhere.
I mean, buying the game is more money for them than buying a console. So
right. But I haven't seen them entice you to buy any game.
No, I was tempted by Sea of Thieves for a long time, and then it came out, and I was like, nope, not even touching that thing.
We had talked about it. We're like, well, maybe we could try it out, and then it came out in the reviews, and it's just kind of like, oh no, it doesn't sound great.
It made me sad.
Maybe it's getting better. Really I think it's getting patched.
It is. I've heard really like that it's getting better and better, and they really are making it better. But it also sounds like it's consistently really only fun whenever you're playing with a full group,
right?
Especially with friends. So they just haven't shown me anything that I'm like, man, I really want to play that game. Like, I know everyone's super excited because they're putting out Master Chief Collection on PC through Steam.
That's like cross progress, cross save or something like that.
I mean, they totally could do that. That's not. I could see them doing that, but that doesn't really do anything to me because I have zero interest in, playing Halo again, even on PC.
What if they married the Halo gunplay with Mass Effect storytelling? Damn, that sounds pretty good, actually.
It does. I mean, that could be a really cool FPS story.
Yeah.
I don't care enough about the Halo universe.
Yeah.
When you talk about that, I'm like, give me, honestly, the Halo gunplay, Bungie gameplay, like gunplay, married to a big RPG. I'm sold. I would love that.
Yeah, that sounds rad.
God, I'm sure I've played games that have done that particularly well. I can't think of them off the top of my head. My head is full of snot. So
yeah, mine too.
But that sounds,
and nothing came up.
I mean, there are things that are closer to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the BioShocks in some ways, they don't have the big decision trees, but I mean, they are RPGs. Right. But they don't have the gunplay is never as good as that Halo Bungie gunplay.
That was the thing about Destiny, is that I thought the fucking story was awful. But man, I played that fucking game every night because it felt so good to play.
Yeah. They know how to make shooters.
Yeah. And then once the campaign's over, I was done. So.
Yeah.
Same thing with 2. Play 2, campaign. I think you got it for free, didn't you?
I've still never played it. Yeah. I do have it for free. I have it on my, I got it on PC for free. Yeah. And I also got it for $5 I have it on for PS4 because I got it for $5.
Right. We bought it through the Best Buy deal.
And I was like, I look at it and I'm like, I could play it, but there's nothing here that I care about.
It's such a good popcorn kind of campaign thing, like on a weekend where you're just looking for something summer blockbustery kind of thing to do.
Yeah.
I think it's fun for that, but I don't know. There's so many other things to play and so much work to do.
Yeah. So
much fucking work to do.
Yeah. I really have hope that Microsoft, so for all this and like my continued negativity right now towards Microsoft is less of like, oh, I will never buy their stuff. I don't care. I'll buy stuff wherever games are and stuff that I want to play.
Right.
I'm weak that way. But what I want them to succeed, and I want them to have a very successful console because I want the competition.
Right. And I think that's one thing that Microsoft is doing really well this generation is just the service side, like Game Pass, excuse me.
Yeah.
I think is such a great thing. And that competition, like if it were more of a competition right now, I think Sony would look at that and say, we have to do something like that. And I don't know if they're looking at that right now and thinking that. I hope they are. But innovations like that, when there is competition, really helps. I mean, it benefits all gamers.
It benefits gamers. For devs, when there is competition, that's when you get the best deals for platforms.
Right. Because they're offering you money basically to go to their platform. Right?
Everyone wants to, like, Sony did that early as well in this generation, but they don't do it anymore. Because they know they don't have to. Well, you have to launch on PS4. Right.
Well, they had such a great thing going for indies, then all of a sudden it was just nothing.
Nothing. Because they don't need to pay anymore.
Yeah.
Just a straight business decision on that point.
Right.
And then the same thing has somewhat happened with Nintendo as well. Like, they don't really do a ton of money, but they would get behind indies for marketing and kind of push them, and mostly money into marketing. but they stopped really doing a ton of that a year ago.
Yeah.
When it was clear that they don't need to. Indies are just going to come there.
Right, because they're selling. Or at least
Yeah.
they were selling. I don't know if they still are.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Or you mean indies?
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I have a hard time knowing what's going on in that ecosystem right now.
Well, like Katana Zero came out a week ago, and they said that they sold 100,000 copies, but I'm not sure if that was just PC, just Switch, both. I'm not sure. But
Hell,
they were freaking
100,000 copies? Holy crap!
They were super happy. Not livid. They were super happy. About
Yeah.
that. So,
Any indie game selling, really, I've always said, if you can sell 50,000 copies, mark that as a success. Like,
yeah.
a very
No,
good
they hit
success. If they had 100K, wow.
In a week.
Good
In a
job.
week.
Good
Yeah.
job. In a week, then.
So it tells me that games are still selling well. Indie games are still selling well on the Switch. But yeah, I think PS4 or Sony dropped it.
Yeah.
After, because it felt like that's where everyone was flocking to, and then they realized they didn't need to give them any incentives anymore.
Yeah.
Because everyone had purchased the PS4 already, I guess.
Yeah, and you want any indie is going to want that market share, even if they're promoted or not. You don't want to. The only way you're going to break even is to roll the dice on as many platforms as markets as you can.
Right.
Unless someone's giving you money not to.
Right.
I mean, that was the PopCap way for a long time. Just roll all the games to all the platforms, because you never know when something's going to be a success and on what platform it's going to be a success.
I feel like Ubisoft does the same thing. They
do
try to
a
get
great
on the
job.
launch of everything.
Yep.
They're excited. There was an interview on Unfiltered at IGN a couple weeks ago with Kimo, and he was talking about he likes new hardware. He likes the challenge and the excitement of building something for a new piece of hardware, even if it flops. They like the challenge. So
yeah, and actually being there at the beginning is very good. You will see higher sales.
Yeah.
At the beginning of it, like if you can get into the launch window, thumbs up. You will sell.
Well, if you have a good game,
Yeah. Good game and launch window, you're going to sell copies.
Right, exactly. I know sometimes there are launch windows with poor games, so.
Yeah, but even poor games sell quite a bit better during that launch window because people just want games. Right. There's such a limited selection of games during launch windows.
That's how not Snipper Clips. What was it called? 1-2 Switch. That's how 1-2 Switch sold.
Yeah.
Oh man, that game. Speaking of games, real quick, here's a new code: HDVTNEPJ3BQTBP4. I won't tell you what it is, but enjoy. It's on Steam, so check it out. Anyway, anything else for Microsoft this year?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a quiet year for them.
You think quiet?
I think they're going to be loud, but it's going to be the quiet for the rest of the year. They're going to be doing a bunch of story, but don't expect any big releases this year.
Think of one release other than like small stuff for Game Pass, like the AA kind of stuff.
So, but I think it's all building towards 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the same thing with Sony. Like I was listening to a different podcast today, and they were talking about the Sony financials that came out recently, and somewhere buried in it was talking about how they didn't expect a big financial a profit this year because the first party games all came out last year, and in the next fiscal year they don't expect as many or any. And the person who was thinking about it was saying, well, if Last of Us were coming out this fiscal year, that would do better than any of the releases last year. So maybe that's not coming out. But I was thinking, I don't know if Last of Us 2 would sell more than Spider-Man.
Hard to say. It's really hard to say.
I feel like there's like mass market appeal for Spider-Man versus The Last of Us 2. I mean, it's fucking got to be phenomenal. Last of Us was phenomenal, but I feel like that's not niche, but like the Sony fans are the ones that are going to pick that up as opposed to like comic book fans or whatever else.
Yeah, I still think that's potentially this fall's game.
God, I hope you're right. If it is, are you going to play the first one or are you going to just YouTube it?
I'll probably YouTube it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll do a Let's Play. I don't think I can. I don't know. Maybe I'll try a little bit of it and see how I feel. But if it ever gets to a point where I feel like I'm just like, I just don't want to deal with this gameplay, then I'll just be like, stop, YouTube, let's do this.
Yeah, I think that the first few hours, the gameplay is kind of like, so yeah.
Okay.
I can see you doing that for sure. Anyway, good ending to a story, so I hope you do enjoy that. Why don't we talk about what we've been playing recently, and then we'll move into Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4. So what have you been playing this week? Anything?
Nothing.
Oh, no.
I have been in such, I wouldn't call it hell mode stuff, but do a lot of work. Pushing hard, really hard, we have a new code base that we're creating. So we did all our prototype. So we have a thing called we're in pre-production now. Mm-hmm. But we didn't want to bring But when we're doing that, like the prototype was a pit. Like it was just get it to running as fast as possible. It's duct taped together in so many places. You couldn't really build a full game on top of it. The plan has always been, okay, set that aside and now actually start building up the game in a way that you could build lots of content for. In a production, like focused on how would you manage this game in production? How does this need to be built to be a game that could be live in production? And so we've been doing a lot of that. And everything just blew up this week, basically. And there was a lot to get done to get it to a point where we can feel like confident that we can move forward with what we have.
Right.
So, yeah, it's been a lot of work. And then by the time I'm done and kids go to bed, I'm like, I don't want to look at anything anymore.
I don't want to see any screens.
Yeah, I have been reading. And
What are you reading then?
Neuromancer.
Oh, okay.
It's my yearly reread.
6th time, 7th time? A lot more than that?
No,
probably?
a lot more. So I got, what year did I get that book? I was 16? Something like that. And I've read it every year since.
Oh, okay. So at least 40 times. Just kidding.
Not that old yet.
This is our 20th year high school reunion, so we're definitely not that old.
No, so what does that mean? I guess 22 years? This would be my 22nd read of Neuromancer.
I hope someone in your life loves you like Anthony loves Neuromancer.
Hey, it's a great book.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on my 6th reread of Game of Thrones series right now, so I feel
I've only read that once. Mostly because I just look at it and I'm like, it's so big.
That's why, I mean, my reread, like, they have an audiobook.
Whenever you look at a book and you're like, man, that's a commitment.
Yeah. It's so good. So good.
It's so good to a point.
No, well, okay. Yeah, Dance with Dragons, the whole Quentin Martell storyline, just...
There's a lot of spinning its wheel. The first 3 books are amazing.
They are. They're really good. I actually really liked Feast for Crows.
Feast for Crows. I enjoyed Feast for Crows.
Yeah. That's mainly because of the Brienne storyline.
Yep. No, that one's good. And then...
Dance, not so much.
No. Actually, the only parts I really liked of Dance is whenever at the end when it merges back up with Feast of Crows timeline. And then I'm like, okay. Mostly because I care more about that stuff going on than...
Have you heard about a Ball of Beasts?
No.
So crazy people, basically researched the whole timeline for both books and then merged them into one ebook. So you can just read Feast and Dance at the same time, like merge together where they would be if they were one book.
Awesome. So it's like 2,000 pages?
Yes. Then it would only work for an ebook because the binding would just not hold together. God. So a Ball of Beasts, I recommend that, folks.
So yeah, I feel bad. Like, I should say, yes, I'm still playing Dragalia at night.
Of
like
course.
That's like my half an hour, probably like 15 minutes at night and then like 15 minutes in the morning, laying in bed. But
right.
Beyond that, it has really been, hey, I'm going to read books and I'm going to watch Critical Role.
Nice.
Just things to recharge me creatively.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm just dumping so much of my brain power and creativity into this past week that I just need to have time to like chill and get it recuperate a bit.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Luckily at night, for most, it's been games for me. But I am still reading book 3 of The Expanse, which has been
nice.
Really good. I didn't really like book 2, but Abaddon's Gate or whatever is pretty darn good. I like Bull.
Yeah, I think just keep that series. Just it has a little ups and downs, like, but overall you get through it. And you're like, this has been great. It's been a great arc, and I think the last one came out, or second to last one.
Oh, they're actually like have an endpoint now.
They always had an endpoint, or they did a few years ago.
So did George R. R. Martin.
They were pretty strong that they have an endpoint to the story.
Yeah, that's good.
Tiamat's Wrath. When did that come out? Came out in March. I have it on hold from the library. I'm waiting for it. Is this the end? The 8th book in the series. There might be a 9th. Yep, 9th is the last book.
That's crazy that they started this after A Song of Ice and Fire, and they're going to finish it before.
It's a book a year.
I mean, they basically started between Dance and then
start
and finish between Dance and whatever the next one's going to be.
The first 7 books were one a year. Tiamat's Wrath, they took 2 years. Actually, they didn't even take a full 2 years. They took 15 months, 16 months.
And Daniel Abraham is still writing his other stuff under all his other pen names at the same time, so it's just prolific.
They at least know how to write and churn out books.
Yeah,
like get prose to paper
Yep.
And get it published.
Yep. Brandon Sanderson too, just huge.
Oh, Sanderson's insane.
Yeah,
the guy is just such an insane writer. I wish I liked his stuff, but I just don't.
I know, me too.
But I do give respect and props to the amount of content he actually pushes out that people seem to really like. So
I met him at a con. Maybe it was Comic-Con, or I don't remember what it was. I got something signed by him, and I was like, "So what's your secret?" He's like, and he wrote down like 6 letters, or I can't remember exactly what it was. Hands-on key, HOKBIC, hands-on keyboard, butt in chair. He's like, that's it.
Just right. Yeah.
I guess that's right. He said, just fucking right.
But I mean, that's Stephen King as well.
Yep.
He's talking. I mean, you read his on writing and stuff. He's like, you just write.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be good. Right.
Did you see him and George R. Martin on stage together?
Yeah, I've watched that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. It's like, I just write, dude. Just fucking write.
I block things out and I write.
Yep. Well, and that fucking guy retired like a decade ago, and he's churning out 2 books a year.
He can't stop writing.
No, thank God.
It's a weird like retired is I write less, or I don't feel obligated to write as much. I write because I want to write, and I can take time off from writing if I want to go do things with my family or other activities.
Right. Yep, that's exactly what he said.
But
welcome to Prof and Dev Read Books.
Yeah. So what are you actually playing?
So, give you one guess. One game I played this week.
Odyssey?
Yes. I played a 2-hour binge from 9:30 to 11:30 at night one night. I just couldn't stop. I went after cultists, and there was a whole chain basically to get this one cultist. I had to go to like some other island and then like start some sort of war and root him out. I found him. So 2 cultists down, and I have 2 more to go before I get to the ghost.
Okay.
So I'm probably do a little bit of work on that tonight if I have time before I go to sleep. But I texted my friend Brad and said, yeah, I got 2 more cultists. He's like, you are like the crippled tortoise to my hair, but good on you. It's like, I know I'm very slow, but I'm getting there. I feel like I've beaten that game, but technically have not rolled credits yet because I have not beat all the cultists. But I turned on the game to go after the Atlantis DLC, right?
Yep.
Nope. Went after cultists instead.
Okay.
And then my friend Ted picked that game up, and he's just like 40 hours in. He's like, I can't stop playing this game. It's so good.
It is so good.
Amazing. I played some Mortal Kombat 11 with my brother on Tuesday, and that was fun because we both suck, and that makes it so it's pretty even. So we're just going back and forth bashing each other. And then, man, the story mode is good.
What?
Good. It's good. It is really good in Mortal Kombat 11.
No.
And here's why. It is just a fucking action movie where you play the fights. Like, it is just a blockbuster action movie, and then when the fights happen, you play them, and then you keep going on. Injustice 2 had a great story mode too, but they're just pulling in so many like superheroes that I just kind of get lost on the thread of the story. But it's still fun. But this one actually is like you're fucking playing a movie, and it's really, really good. And the game plays excellently. It just feels great. And I know it was built on the blood, sweat, and tears of people working many, many hours. According to that latest piece from GameSpot, I think it was, or Kotaku.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
More crazy crunch.
Exactly. I think those are just going to come from every studio now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
It does.
And then I played this afternoon. My daughter has a cold too, and she took a epic nap, which was amazing because I had to grade so much stuff today. But after about 2.5 hours, I finished grading, and she was still sleeping. So I kind of scooted over on my couch, grabbed my Switch, turned on the game. I turned on Luminous. I wanted something that I could just put right down. And fucking hell, man, I haven't played that in a while. That game, that puzzle game, like it's so good. Once you get out of like the building lines Tetris thing, it's not like that at all. It's building like squares and whatever.
Yep.
But
it's getting to the beat.
And you know what the crazy thing about it on the Switch? The fucking HD rumble goes along with the beat.
Oh my god.
The way it vibrates, it actually makes noise, right? Like, you know, when you get a point in a card or whatever. So actually, like, if you turn the volume down and just listen to the vibration, it's the beat. So
my god, that sounds
seriously
amazing.
It's sublime. It reminded me of playing Tetris Effect on PSVR because it just adds that extra dimension.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's like the definitive way to play that game. Like, it just is fucking great. So that was good. And then that's it. That's all I played. I probably have played a total of 3 hours of games this week. It's just 3 more weeks of school, and then I'll have a little bit more time. But seriously, it's just like death right now.
Yeah, I hope that we have planning tomorrow. and we'll see where we're at, and then things can calm down a bit and be a little less intense. Like, the great thing is that, like, talk about crunching. We don't crunch. That's very important from a company and owner standpoint. Do not crunch. But it's still very intense while I'm working my days. So,
right.
I don't understand. Like, that's the thing with when you hear people talk about crunch. I'm like, man, if you're already having to be so on during your normal 8-hour workday, and then you got to work another like 4 to 6, God, your output's gonna suck so much.
I know. Like,
it just degrades so much.
You start making mistakes. You start taking shortcuts.
Yeah.
There's a time in my assistant had moved on to a new job, so we were in between. So it was just me doing my job plus their job, and it was overwhelming. And then I started making little mistakes that I never make. And then I look back, I was like, wait, why the fuck did that? I didn't even remember doing it. There's no other explanation other than I fucked it up. And luckily they're easily fixed. But like, going through it, it's like, I just feel like I look like an idiot. Like, how did I make all those mistakes? So
overworking totally causes it.
Yep.
And think about that happening when you're coding.
No, I mean, because you make one keystroke mistake and everything's fucked.
Yeah, and you can break builds. And honestly, you'll be like, oh, it compiled and everything worked fine. And then you find out weeks later, why is this thing not actually work? Because you're reading the wrong variable or doing mundane things that don't cause crashes, but cause instability later. And you're like, why is this happening?
Right.
And it's so hard to track down.
Oh, you're staring at like, what 11-point font all day?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can make it bigger, but...
Yeah, no, that's about right. Yeah. At least I have a black background. I changed my editor to be night mode, basically.
Yeah, that's
because I'm not going to stare at a white screen with black text all day.
Right.
But yeah.
Burning the retinas out.
But yeah, hopefully this will just be a calmer week and I'll play more because I really want to play Odyssey. I really, really want to play the DLCs.
God, it's still so good. I mean, I've only put probably a third of the first DLC down, but fuck that game. I guess I don't need an AC till next fall for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess this is the part where we should break clean. This has been episode 190 of Prof and Dev Play Games. He's at Summer Speak. If you don't like the podcast, I am at Prof Plays Games. If you do like it, check us out on Patreon. We're Prof and Dev Play Games. $5 a month will get you your topic, and I should go up there. And I think we have a new one for next week, so we should.
Okay, cool.
I'll let you know about that. And if you are interested, we're going to talk about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4, which aired tonight on HBO. So if you're not sticking around for that, see you later, folks.
All right.
And
they should all be gone now.
Here. Yes, they should all be gone now. So now we know Jaime killed Tyrion. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So I liked the first 2/3 of this episode.
Oh, interesting. I liked the whole fucking thing. I really did. And then I turned on the internet and I realized everyone hated it.
First 2/3 I actually really liked.
Yeah. So
like the post battle, again, the small character moments.
Yep.
As soon as it moved to the King's Landing stuff and them invading, I was like, this is kind of dumb. Like, they're making dumb mistakes. It felt very rushed again.
Yep.
The dragon just getting shot out of nowhere and gone.
I like that.
It could have been okay, but again, it just felt, like this weird rushed thing.
Well, the reason why I liked it is actually because of that, because I felt like they were making a stupid mistake by basically sailing down without really like doing recon.
I guess that's the thing. So it is a stupid mistake. And I feel like I think that's more my thing is the characters are making lots of stupid mistakes.
Yes, absolutely. Like totally stupid. What are you doing? You're all, and even Tyrion at the end where he's like, he runs up to the gates like, dude, you should die. You should die. Like, you better die. And this is a terrible death. Don't die, but you should die.
Yeah, I mean, it's just constant. I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, it's breaking my suspension of disbelief because of the stupid decisions they're making. Because I'm like, these characters wouldn't make these stupid decisions. They aren't this dumb.
Right. No, and once they ran out of material, it was just like them creating stuff that is just not living up to even living up to their older episodes with things that they did divert from the script. But I feel like season 7 was where I just suspended disbelief. Like this fast travel basically is just not working out. But yeah, I don't understand the decision to basically go right up to the gates and kind of stand there. They should be dead.
Yeah.
They should all be dead. Tyrion should be absolutely dead. Bronn should have at least killed him in that weird ass scene.
Yeah, that was a very weird one.
It was weird. I didn't like how they did that. Like, Bronn just walks in and is like, okay, here's how it's going to be. I could shoot you guys, but instead, how about you give me,
High Garden.
High Garden, yeah. I don't know. There are some things that were weird, but overall, I liked the episode because I felt like it was pretty well paced. I thought that there were some consequences. I liked the small character moments. The only thing I didn't like with the character moments were a lot of them kind of built towards people fucking each other. And I understand that they want to fuck each other, but kind of it was a little over the top. And the Jaime Brienne thing, I just wish they didn't. I wish they had left it where they didn't do that because I felt like they had a good friendship. But
yeah,
the line where Jaime Lannister says, "I've never had sex or I never slept with a knight before," was pretty funny.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm generally okay with the Jaime Brienne thing overall. Mostly, I just never expected it to happen because clearly she does love him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But for me, it was never like a sex thing. It was like just a respect thing. It was so much more nuanced than let's just have sex. And I know people need to have sex, but it just felt. I just kept, as it was happening, it's like, no. I didn't want that for them for some reason. I feel like it was beneath them, which is a fucking weird thing to say and stupid, but just so much more complex than that.
Yeah.
And then he basically leaves telling her that he's as hateful as Cersei and leaves her crying basically, which is a weird moment again.
Yeah. I felt like that could have been written better if it is more of a way of I'm as hateful as her, but that means I'm the only one that can stop her.
Right. That would have been nice.
I'm going there because, I'm probably going to die, but she's going to die too. At least that's the subtext I'd get from what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. No, he's definitely going to kill her. And that's partially... I wonder if we hadn't read the books, would we think that? Because in the books, it's fucking clear that Jaime's going to kill Cersei.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder what people who haven't read the books think.
Yeah.
But I feel like that the negative, I think overall, I feel like from episode 3 leading into this, it was just pretty negative overall. People thought about the episodes, and then I think it's just carried over, even though I felt like there was some really great stuff. I think I would agree with you. The first 2/3 were the best part of it.
Yeah, again, it was small moments again. Watching everyone celebrate was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
And how each character just is processing everything going on.
I like the Sansa and Hound moment where she was like, if it wasn't for them, I would still be a little bird. Which
is still okay. You don't have to be.
Yeah. You can still be a little bird. You're only 16 or whatever the fuck you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
There's that moment with the Hound and Arya that I thought was pretty cool too. Where they're leaving Winterfell.
Oh yeah, they're both going south.
I'm not coming back, and she's like, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, she has things to do in King's Landing.
It's just too quick. It was too quick. But I know that they only have, for some reason, they only give themselves 6 episodes. I don't know why. Why didn't they have 10 episodes per season? They could have really fucking used the extra 4 in each season, I mean.
Budget.
But this is the biggest show on Earth.
I think they still have a budget. I honestly don't know how much they make in overall, profit-wise on this. You get all that information on movies, In-Game breaking $2 billion in, 10 days?
Well, they're the first one to break $1 billion over the opening weekend, right?
Yeah. Breaking the 2 billion mark is... The top grossing movie worldwide is Avatar, and it took it 45 days to top 2 billion.
Mm.
And In-Game has done it in 10.
Well, is that adjusted for inflation or adjusted for 3D fucking tickets or whatever they have?
No.
I feel like tickets are more now. So it seems
tickets are more now. There is a chart that is adjusted for inflation.
Okay.
You can find that. Because if you go for adjusted for inflation, the highest grossing movie ever is Gone with the Wind. By a lot.
Whoa. All right.
By a shit ton. Nothing has ever come close when adjusting for inflation.
Yeah.
Because everyone saw Gone with the Wind back in the day.
Yeah.
Because, you didn't have TVs or anything. What people did was go to the movies. But
that's the one that has, a few of my favorite things. Dun, 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 dun. Is that fucking... Or is that something else?
That's something else.
Okay. I don't fucking know Gone with the Wind. Clearly.
Those
are a few of my favorite things.
It's not a musical.
It's not a musical?
No.
Gone with the Wind's not a musical. Are you sure?
Pretty sure it's not a musical. I only watched it once back when we were in high school.
Okay. Well, you watched it more than I have, so. Epic historical romance film. Wow, What the fuck am I thinking of then? I'm Googling real fast. These are a few of my favorite things. What is that from? Sound and music. God damn it.
Yep. That's a very different thing.
Those are two different things. Fuck. Oh.
But,
I would chalk it up to my cold, but no, I'm just a moron.
But Thrones, again, I feel like I really liked episode 2 of the season a lot.
Oh my god, so good.
But it's the personal moments.
Yep.
Like, that's what it is. And I feel like the show has gotten really, and this has started a while back, actually, that it feels very sloppy when it tries to do big things.
Yeah. Well, and it also is just rushing it because they have to. They have no choice. There's too much. George R. R. Martin has had the same issue where he has too many pieces on the board and he's trying to figure out how to get them all moving. And, the showrunners don't have the luxury of waiting 7 years to figure it out.
Yeah. He's never going to finish it. He doesn't know how to do this. He's done. But yeah, right. The last third was just weird. Like, I get that the ambush happening. That makes sense. It does make sense. I'm like, of course someone's waiting there for you. Where the hell wouldn't they be waiting for you?
Fucking dragons. How come you couldn't see them in the distance?
That is the part. Like, there was enough stuff. I'm like, how did they surprise you at all?
Right. Exactly. You should not have been surprised at all because you have fucking dragons.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Also, like, fuck Jon Snow for turning his back on Ghost. Like, don't leave your fucking direwolf, you idiot.
Well, he's gonna die now.
He has to because he's separated from the fucking direwolf.
Pretty much.
Or direwolf's gonna pull an Arya Stark, show up at fucking King's Landing and save Jon's life.
I was happy that Ghost was alive.
Me too.
But also, of course, Ghost didn't die because no one fucking died.
You're right.
There was zero. And actually, I've thought about it because people were like, "You really wanted people to die?" I'm like, actually, no. I didn't care if people died. I wanted to believe they could die. And about halfway through last episode, I knew that no one was gonna die. Which is the problem.
Right, and that's something.
If I could make it to the end of an episode where I was still on the edge of my seat, going like, I don't know if they're going to live or die, that's great. But it didn't get me that far.
And I feel like that's exactly the same way. Like, it would have been nice to have 1 or 2 people die just to have real consequences. But if I would have just at least felt toward the end that they had the possibility of dying, instead of knowing halfway through, oh, if they don't show you they're dead, they're not dead. But this one, honestly, I thought Tyrion was dead. Like,
yeah, he should have been dead. Honestly, they should have been dead there.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Cersei finish it right there?
There's no reason not to.
Tell me, like, what she's standing there. I'm like, why aren't you just... You have the big ballistas pointing at the dragon, and you have a shit ton of archers that can all aim and hit Dany and her very small force of Unsullied. Like, you can kill them right now. Just this whole thing is done. Why not?
Yeah, I don't get it.
It just didn't feel that, Cersei would pass that opportunity up.
Right.
That's just, I feel like the characters are written very sloppily when it comes to this grand politics stuff now.
I thought Tyrion and Varys were okay this episode. I thought Varys was being honest with himself. He's like, he's for the realm. Like, that's what I'm for. I thought that was like harking.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, they're old conversations, but lately Varys has had fucking nothing to do. So it was nice to see him do something.
Is he just going to kill Dany?
No, I think he will orchestrate it though.
Yeah.
Like in, was it Dance? At the end of Dance?
But who does he want to put in power? Does he want to put Jon in power?
It's going to come back to who has power, like what was it? The king or the sellsword or the person with money or whatever it was. I mean, he sounds like he wants Jon. I know Tyrion, like, in his heart of hearts knows that it should be Jon, not Dany. But
it should not be Jon. I do not want Jon.
It's going to be neither of them.
Good.
Either one.
No throne, nobody. No one gets it.
Correct.
We're done.
I think that's how the books end. Because it's never been about.
We're going to switch to a democratic republic, right? That's the end of Game of Thrones is no more monarchy. Just going to become a democracy.
It'll be like England where you have like a titular royal or titular monarch.
I kind of feel like Varys would totally do that if he could.
I think Varys will do whatever he can.
Because that would give more power to the people.
Right.
And he seems to be more for, as he said, the realm and being. Right. So I think ultimately he would probably be a person that would want more of that than crazy monarchs who always go insane and do stupid things and get people killed.
Yeah. Next week is what's his name? Sapachnik or whatever the one.
Yeah, it's going to be a big battle. 70 minutes.
I hope it's in the daylight. Like, hope we can see.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Based on the preview of what next episode, not season.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it.
I mean, I just watched it quickly at the end. They didn't show anything, but it's a lot of daylight. So
okay, good.
I don't think it's going to be attacking at night. And then so that episode is 70 minutes, and the last episode is 70 minutes, which I bet is just really going to be just a long denouement.
Yes.
How can it not be? They've got to.
I mean, that's what we deserve. That's what we need. Like, the battle's next week, and then it's just going to be the letdown, or the come down. I mean,
yeah,
or letdown. I guess
it could totally be a letdown. At this point, I'm going about 50-50 if this is going to be end in any way that's satisfying to me.
Dude, endings suck. Endings are hard.
They are hard.
It's all about the journey. I mean, Stephen King always said, like, the endings are the worst. Like, it's about the journey. So,
it is about the journey, and if you can get a good ending, it will go down in history. Yeah.
Well, it's funny that the show has kind of turned it back over to George R. R. Martin. Like, okay, you need to save the show.
Yeah.
Or save your fucking story, because this is... But then, I don't know if he can, because his book 5 needs saved from itself, too, so...
Yeah, he's writing book 6, though, right?
6. He's writing book 6.
And there's only 7. I always forget how many. Supposedly,
There's supposedly 7.
Sure.
There fucking better be just 7. Come on.
It's not going to be 7. He's going to come out and say, yeah, actually, it's like 10 books, but I've already written like 3 of them because it's all this material I had, and I just had to cut it up into different books now.
I keep having this like recurring erotic dream where he announces at the end of this season that he wins a winter and a dream of spring done, and they'll come out successive years.
No, I don't think so.
No, okay.
And then you do you on whatever dreams you need. You do you.
That is probably a pretty good place to end this episode. We just stuck the landing.
There you go.
This has been episode 190 of Prof and Dev Play Games. 10 away from the big 200. We have some big plans, which we have not thought of yet,
at
but
all.
We will. Sure.
I could actually see what weekend that falls on.
Oh yeah, I wonder. So let's see. I'm gonna pull up the calendar.
It's getting to summer, and then there's like 2 weeks where I'm in Yellowstone. Actually.
Oh yeah, we're going to have to pause then. Those won't count.
Okay.
So 190, 191, 192, 193, 194, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like July 15th.
Okay, I'll still be around.
Yeah, looks like July 15th. When you go to Yellowstone?
26th of July.
Oh yeah, right before you go. So we'll have the blowout July 15th before you go.
Yep. And then I'm gone for 2 weeks in the outdoors.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Well, all right, my friends, that was 190. We will see you next week for 191, the Palindrome episode.
Yes. Best episodes.
All right, folks. See you.
Later.